to my channel. Not much to say with regards to how regularly I upload, because I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to upload like 1-2 videos a week, because that's just not my personality, because I suck at planning things out, and like things just have to like flow to me. Otherwise, like if there isn't any energy flowing, like I'm not gonna force something, because that's just, to me, it's not worth it, and it's not the point of me doing this. So I was getting ready to go get some water, putting my makeup on and stuff, and I'm like, maybe I can do my makeup and film this at the same time, but I don't know about that, so I think I'm just gonna talk. So anyways, recently I've been doing a lot of painting and feeling a lot more creatively inspired, which is cool, because that was something I worked on a long time to like kind of unblock that, because I felt like I always kind of felt called to be like an artist, or like always felt like that was part of my identity or something, because I don't fit into like the mainstream of working a 9 to 5, like logical brained kind of stuff. Like I don't like rules, I like to go outside of rules. So I was like, what is better than that, than art? Because that's basically the point. So yeah, I started doing that again. I really don't know how people do their makeup and talk at the same time. Like I definitely would not be able to multitask like that. Anyways, yeah, so I was doing that. I was feeling really good. I made a few paintings, was like selling them. Thought that I sold one, had someone like con me on eBay. And then through that realized that like half the people on there that bid on your stuff are just like scamming you. So I was like, okay, well obviously this isn't the best like way to sell art. So I feel like the best other way is probably to have like a lot of followers on Instagram and whatever. Basically getting to the point, I started like putting more pressure on myself, like, okay, like I need to paint 1 painting a week, because I want to make money off of this, because I don't want to work so much at my other job. Because I had so much like hope and so much faith in the fact that I could make money off of that, and I still feel like I can, but that's not what I want my main prerogative to be with making art. It's just that like my other job was getting kind of difficult, and I kind of saw it as like an escape out of that, and something that I felt like I was supposed to do anyways. Which, yeah, I still feel like I should do it, just maybe not putting so much pressure on myself, because I was putting a bunch of pressure on myself, and then I was like getting some anxiety and just feeling like weird, and I was like, And then yesterday I woke up and it was one of my days off, and so I was like, okay, like, let's get some shit done. And I was just feeling like discouraged, because I'm like, well, I painted all this, like I haven't sold any of it, so what's the point, kind of thing. Like I can't just keep piling these up in my apartment, even though it's like relatively fun to do whatever. And I was like, no, like don't let yourself think like that. Like you can't give up after a few weeks. Like it takes people like years to build up these Instagram accounts and to like sell these things. So I was in that realm of thinking, but I was still putting way too much pressure on myself. So yeah, so the whole day I just felt very like, what's the right word? Resistance, like a lot of resistance inside myself. I don't know if you guys know what that kind of energy feels like, but that's the best way for me to name it, is just resistance. It's like I felt completely unmotivated and completely like slight anxiety, just not feeling like in the normal like vibe that I'm usually in when I'm like good and happy and like feeling like inspired. So, I'm all questioning, like, maybe I'm not meant to do this, blah, blah. And then I get into bed, and this is usually when I have my best, like, contemplations, when I'm laying in bed, like, at night, trying to sleep, but also just kind of going over the day. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, why am I feeling so uninspired? And then I'm, like, thinking about it, and I'm like, literally, with every fiber in my being today, because I went from feeling so motivated and so inspired to yesterday, and I was like, I literally do not care at all to paint or make any art or do any of it. Like, I just don't give a shit. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, none of it matters. And that was my mood, especially once I got into bed. I was like, I don't want to do it. Like, and then I was like, fuck, well, I just went to part-time at my job, so I'm gonna have to figure out another way to make money. And then I was like, okay, this is probably why you feel like that, because you're putting pressure to make money, blah blah, whatever. So I'm like, okay, what's like, because I always come back to this, I always want to have like a vision for my life, because I feel like that keeps me anchored and that keeps me like on a path that I don't feel all this resistance all the time, and when I start feeling resistance, I kind of know that I've gone off that path. So I was like, what's my vision, you know? Like, what if I'm not feeling like art matters to me at all, if I don't care at all about it right now, what does matter to me? What do I care about? And I was gonna say I could read what I wrote in my notes, but it's on my phone which I'm recording with right now, so I'll try to remember what I wrote. But basically I was thinking about my life and thinking about what the ideal life would be in terms of like material success and like all that. So I was like, okay, well, you know, like let's say I live in Hawaii or I live in Ecuador and I have this nice house and I'm making art and it's like paying all my bills and I have this great partner, and I have a big garden outside with all this like fruits and vegetables, and I get to spend my time just like making art and cooking and having pets, all this, being outside, and all of that, it still sounds amazing. Like, definitely don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't want this. It's that I find when I start striving so hard towards something like that, it totally throws off like my vibration, whatever you want to call it. It makes me like resistant to what's going on now, and it's like I'm putting all my power in that future timeline and I'm not there yet, so it just like feels weird. Like it doesn't feel right. Yeah, and I was thinking about that, but I was like, you know, there's only so many times you can paint a portrait or paint a landscape, there's only so much you can have sex and cuddle with your partner, whatever. Like all that stuff gets slightly dulled down. It helps if you're able to be present with all that stuff, but if you're not, especially then, your ego's gonna be like, what's next, and I don't like that ego feeling of like, let's go, let's do this, because that's not grounded. I like to feel grounded. Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, that's everything I want, but that's not what makes my soul feel like centered, makes me feel like I have purpose, makes me like feel like anything means anything in this world that we're in. And so I was just thinking, once again, what's important to me, what's my vision, and I realized literally the only thing that matters to me is becoming the most loving version of myself, because I feel like this whole world is meant to keep reflecting back to you to be more loving, because when you're not, you face all the karma that comes with that. So that, with that comes connection with other people and community. And I feel like without love, without connection, without community, you're literally, it doesn't matter how much shit you have, it doesn't matter how much money you're making off whatever art you're making, like you're not gonna be happy, you're not gonna feel fulfilled, at least not for me. And so yeah, I had that realization, and it like really hit me, because I was like, fuck, I need to anchor myself, because I keep getting off track, I keep letting these things like pull me away from what's the like main mission here on earth, you know. And it's hard, because with other things it's like it's a straight line towards it. You can be like, oh well, I need to paint this, I need to make this Instagram post. It's like there's step by steps, and with building a community of people, or just being more loving or connecting with people at work or whatever it is, it's a lot harder, because there's not as clear of steps. Like you just have to like I don't even know what the correct process is for that, but you just keep trying and you keep facing whatever shadows come up in the process. Um, but yeah, so I was thinking about that, and then I was thinking about my grandparents and like how they are just so great at interacting with people. Like their energy is the most like hospitable energy that I've ever come into contact with, and I would just love to have that energy one day. Um, it's kind of hard because I used to be very shy, so like the whole being social thing is definitely does not come natural to me. Neither does like talking in front of a camera and making like, I don't want to say speeches, but like if I have a specific topic I want to talk about, it doesn't come very easily. Like, um, yeah, but I mean that's part of what makes it fun or like valuable, right? So anyway, that is, yeah, I don't even know. There's no really point to this video. It's more just me sharing, and if you can relate, then that's great. And yeah, just life really has no meaning if there's not love infused into it. Um, yeah. So, anyways, I hope you guys have a good week, and I will try to keep you guys updated and keep sharing things that come to me. Um, yeah, there's definitely need to get back on my meditation game because that's when usually things come to me that I want to share. So I'll be doing that for sure. All right, see you guys later. Bye.